fucking football every fucking day, pretty much. This is James.
Did you take Kaepernick?
No, I didn't take Kaepernick.
Why not? I took him.
I took Johnny Manziel.
Because I took Kaepernick before you could get him.
That's all right. I got Johnny Manziel.
That's the sleeper of the. That's the sleeper of the draft. Everybody draft Colin Kaepernick or Johnny Manziel.
There you go. And when Adam and I face each other, and hopefully it won't be for anything.
You know, it'll probably be for first place. We're both gonna.
And we're both gonna put in Johnny.
We're gonna tie
Manziel,
or both.
Colin fucking Kaepernick.
And we're gonna tie.
And we're gonna tie. That's how it is. So yes, we are here, and now I got to draft again. Hold on.
Take Kaepernick.
I got 20 seconds.
Why not?
I don't know. Oh my God, this is so terrible. Everybody sucks. They're all terrible. We're gonna go with
good one.
Yeah, Godwin.
Yeah, same thing.
Tampa Bay. All right, so yeah. All right, I think I'm pretty much done with this draft. It's already round 15 or whatever the hell it is.
So
I think that's pretty much.
Yeah, it's 15 is most round drafts go to.
Yep, that was my last pick. Wow, that's pretty crazy to think about. All right, so yeah, we have.
So in all your drafts, who do you think was your best pick or biggest sleeper?
Well, all right, I got a story for that one. Because it comes down to that I had 5 drafts.
Is it Johnny Manziel?
Or four drafts? No, yes, it was Johnny Manziel. He's coming back. He was injured, actually, for about 4 to 6 weeks in the CFL.
Yeah, and his 6 interceptions will give you a -4 points.
Yes, exactly. So, let's see. How many drafts am I in? I think I'm in 4. I think I'm in 4 this year. 1, 2, 3... 4, 5. No, it's 5. I'm in 5, 4. Fuck, I don't even know. Okay, yeah, 4. All right. So, all right. 3 of them were snake drafts. Regular old snake drafts. The other one that I'm in. What the fuck was that? Well, I'm hearing shit. The other one that I was in was an auction draft.
I don't like those.
And the auction draft, I think I did the absolute best in because I don't know why I kept him, but I kept Larry Fitzgerald. I kept Aaron Rodgers. And I kept my defense and my kickers, so I don't have to deal with that bullshit. And it's Kansas City defense and Mason Crosby as the kicker. And I kept Leonard Fournette. So my best strategy was, and I got Lamar Miller for my other running back. I can look it up right now. But the best thing that I did is that I waited until everybody else, got their quarterbacks and their kickers and their defense. And I made sure that I had the most amount of money yet to spend because I saw 3 wide receivers. And these 3 wide receivers are my money makers for this year. Guaranteed money makers.
Wes Welker?
Yes. And
Jeff Janis?
Jeff Janis, exactly. Jeff Janis. So my money makers of this year, and I bullied the whole rest of the league because I had the most money, so I got these guys for fucking cheap. And these are the guys that you got to look for. Number 1, got to be a homer. Randall Cobb. How
picking him up
in the fuck is Randall Cobb going late in drafts and not even being picked up?
I think a lot of it is because, number 1...
Do they forget?
No, but a lot of it is, number 1, Devontae's production, how much he gets.
Okay.
And Jimmy Graham being there now, how much
But Rodgers likes to throw it around.
He does, but I think people were... When they're thinking about, with Cobb, is you have to be safe because of the injury concerns. He seems to be injured every year. Also, they didn't know until, preseason's over who's going to be the other outside receiver. If it's going to be Allison, because if it's Cobb, then Cobb gets shut down when he's an outside receiver because he's too small and he's not as fast anymore. So he gets shut down by the bigger corners. So I think a lot of people were wanting to, kind of what I did, hoping they could pick him up on waivers. Because if it's
I
a
mean, I
waiver
stole
pick,
him.
if it's a waiver pickup, it's not that big of a deal. Like I'm dropping someone because they're injured and I don't know when they're coming back with Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And I figure, even though I already have Jimmy Graham on my team, if Cobb's there, I could get Cobb because it's PPR for the catches,
yeah.
the yards, and Graham's probably going to be
Hopefully
a touchdown
gets the red
vulture.
zone touchdown.
Graham's going to be a
right.
But I think that's a big reason why he's falling because there's not as much.
But he's still an explosive wide receiver. I understand that he was a little bit injured.
He is, and I
year
think
whatnot,
a lot of what can help this is because there's rumors that the Packers might keep 4 tight ends because they might keep one of those rookies, Bird or Tanyan, and they might just line Jimmy Graham up on the opposite side of Adams and just be like, okay,
yeah, exactly. Good luck. Good fucking luck. The other one that I was looking at is Kelvin Benjamin. He's gonna be what? Your number 1 in Buffalo?
That's probably why.
But he's gonna get receptions. He's
but when he was the number one in Carolina.
Well, he got injured.
Yeah.
But
when he was playing, he wasn't
he was
putting
good.
up like top numbers.
Still, I think he's a big sleeper this year. And then the biggest one, I am loving Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, I could see people.
I am loving Sammy Watkins. I got him for cheap. And I got all 3 of them in one draft. And it was with the auction draft, and I got him for less than $15 combined. Like, that's how crazy it was. So I am guaranteed to win that draft. That auction draft, I'm winning that shit. It's over. Done with. Now, what was the other question? What
was your biggest sleep? Your best pick, like best number 1 pick.
Best number 1 pick?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the one that I accidentally auto-drafted.
Yeah, I auto-drafted in 1 too.
Are you ready for this? Hold on. This is kind of a funny one. Like, I'm very dumbfounded on how this happened, but yeah. I gotta see how many teams are in this because that's gonna be a huge difference on how many 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 teams, right? Get ready for this. Antonio Brown, AJ Green. I have CJ Anderson in Carolina. I mean, this is all fucking auto drafted too. Austin Collins? Is that his name? Yeah, Alex. I'm sorry, Alex Collins, running back in Baltimore, the number 1 guy. My quarterback is Tom Brady. I have Mike Evans as my slot, as my flex, and I got Njoku.
As a tight end?
Yeah, as a tight end. And then I got Ingram on the bench, Watkins on the bench. OJ Howard, Eli Manning.
You drafted Eli.
No, I didn't. Well, it was auto drafted.
It knew you wanted him.
Yeah, exactly. And then I got, I guess, the Chargers and the Panthers defense. But
Chargers defense would be good.
All right, so this team is very top heavy. I could totally see that, and this is the first time of me looking at it fully. My running backs are definitely my weakness, but once Ingram comes back of suspension, he's going to get a little bit of touches because they did the whole Alvin Kamara and Ingram thing last year, and it worked. So I think hopefully they're going to do the same thing this year.
Unless Kamara comes out the first,
it just goes crazy. Yeah, it just snaps on everybody.
But then he might get traded, and if Ingram gets moved to another team that needs him,
and then better situation. Yeah. So yeah, but no, I'd say, and I made a very, very tough decision. I was number 1. I was unfortunate enough to be number 1 in a draft, and it's the same one that Adam and I are in, and I was going back and forth, and I kind of manipulated the draft a little bit of going PPR because I didn't know who I wanted, Todd Gurley or...
That's what I did with my draft. I went full PPR and only have 3 running backs on my team.
Right.
But I have receivers that are all get 5-6 catches a game usually.
Right. So I was thinking Todd Gurley or Le'Veon Bell, and I was like, wait, if I could try to change this league into PPR somehow, maybe I'll go get Antonio Brown first overall. So our buddy, he did 0.5, half a point PPR, and literally to the last fucking second, I was like, I don't know who I'm picking. I don't know who I'm picking. Fuck it. I went with Todd Gurley. So that's who I went. If you're gonna go number one overall, even if like a half point PPR, you got to go Gurley.
Well,
even though he just got paid, you got to get.
And that's even like what my thought process was, because going into my big draft, I didn't know what pick I was going to get because we don't know until we draw cards.
Right. I mean,
and I was even thinking, like, if I got number one or number two, I was still even thinking of taking who I ended up taking 5, where I was going to take Kamara either way, just because what he did last year
was insane.
And if I was in the number 1 or 2 spot, I knew he wouldn't be back there my second time around. So when you do the snake, you have to kind of like protect that. So like what I did in this draft, I got my first pick, or the 5th pick was Kamara. Then went snake back. I took Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Donta Freeman for Atlanta, Marvin Jones, Jimmy Graham, and my 2 sleepers. I think for me, especially since I convinced someone to take Aaron Rodgers number 4, my biggest sleeper. In the 1, 2, 3, 7th and 8th round, I got Jared Goff and Derek Carr.
Not bad. My quarterbacks. Not bad. You know, Jared Goff can definitely go off. He's got Todd Gurley.
Then for Goff, I because I needed a receiver for him, I took Robert Woods in like almost the last round, and OJ Howard for a backup tight end.
It's not bad. Not bad
at
all.
Even when I was going back, I was thinking of like taking Cook or McCaffrey because I needed a second running back, but I was like, I'd rather have in a PPR receivers I know who are gonna get their touches. Like Keenan Allen is sometimes like a 20, 30 point a week guy because
he's getting those
gets
8,
catches,
9, 10
gets touchdowns.
Catches.
And they have like no one else right now except for Ingram
and Melvin Gordon.
I mean. Yeah. And I was even thinking of later in the rounds taking him. But then I was like, he's hurt an awful lot to take as a running back. So I ended up only with 2 running backs because I have Kamara and Freeman. But I might pick one up off the waivers. I might just go with 2 because how my league is, you could basically run 4 receivers, 1 running back.
There you go.
So if Freeman isn't doing good, or if Kamara is not doing good, or even if they have tough matchups, I could just go Tyreek Hill, Jones, Keenan Allen.
Exactly.
And if I'm picking up Cobb, or even move Graham into the receiver role.
Exactly.
But like in my other draft, which was just pure luck because I forgot I was in this league until the draft happened, and I got an email that says, "This is your draft results."
You're like, what the hell just happened to me?
And I forgot completely. Like I literally didn't know I was in this league.
Oh, Jesus.
And so it auto drafted my team. Let me see who I had. And it was, I got Cam Newton.
Yep.
David Johnson.
I'm loving Cam Newton this year.
Newton, David Johnson, Delvin Cook, T.Y. Hilton, Stephon Diggs, Trey Burton, Rashard Penny, Lutz, and the Vikings defense.
So
my auto draft went very Vikings heavy, but which is kind of a worry for me because like I don't generally like having multiple, unless it's a quarterback and a receiver, or a receiver and tight end because they could feed off of each other. I don't generally like having 2 of the same teammates because they take points away from each other. Like my one friend, he drafted Allen Robinson and Trey Burton from the Bears.
Why not?
Yeah,
I think that Chicago offense is going to
be... Well, no, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
But they're going to be, as receivers...
Well, Trey Burton's a tight end.
Yeah, but they've been lining him up as the 3 receivers.
If he's a tight end in here, it don't matter.
But I'm saying they're going to be taking touches away from each other a little bit more.
Well, I mean, if Mitchell Trubisky becomes that one quarterback that gets 3,500 yards and higher than 15 touchdowns, it's not going to matter because that's going to be spread out.
Yeah. I think my biggest kind of problems in my main draft was I didn't really get good defenses, but I think I can make up for it was I ended up taking the Saints and the Packers defense. The Saints I just took because last year they forced a lot of turnovers, got a lot of sacks,
And that's what they're good
held
at.
people down. And like the Packers defense, I just took because I needed a backup. It was
And you know
like
what? The
one of the last
Packers
rounds.
defense might be like the Saints defense of last year because they're young. They're very, very young, and they might just turn over, take away.
And taking the Packers defense in 2 leagues allowed me to keep the same team name in 2 leagues and be like, get ready for the Clinton Dicks.
Get ready for the Clinton Dicks. I have my team names are probably not so nice. Well, actually, I can say one of them. One of them is called Madden is fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
Madden is fucking awful. I have another one that's called the Minnesota Taint Lickers. That's a good one.
My friend's team name is shove dick up your butt kiss.
Shove dick up your butt kiss. Nice. So, what was I gonna say? I don't even know. If there was, okay, I got a question for you, a little fantasy question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You take the top 5 quarterbacks out of there. You know, your Aaron Rodgers, your Ben Roethlisberger, your
Roethlisberger went late as hell in my draft. Around like the
your
12th
Drew
round.
Brees. Okay.
Well, you actually know he went the last round.
All right, give me a young quarterback that would be a sleeper this year.
Well, considering I got him super late, it could be because of injury concerns and they don't know what he's going to do. But Derek Carr, I got like second to last round. I got Derek Carr, and 2 rounds before I got Jared Goff.
I like that.
And both of them last year, when they were healthy, put up crazy numbers. And like the reason I even took both of them was I figured if Goff's doing good or if Carr's doing good, and I like desperately need another running back, I could always just trade either Carr or Goff,
for like a
running back,
or maybe a running back, 2 running backs. You know, 2 second-tier running backs. I am liking there's 2 that I think that are going to be really that are going to stand out a lot.
Kaepernick and Giant Manziel.
Yes, 100%. That's what I was going to say. No, Deshaun Watson, if healthy, this guy is going to fucking destroy everything.
I could see him.
Has the offense to it, and the other one, I'm back and forth with this guy. I'm so back and forth with this guy, but this guy's got so much talent. It's Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, that's why I took Tyreek Hill, because in all the preseason games, like I was reading like all the fantasy books, they had Tyreek Hill listed as like a 20th receiver, and like it was like, oh well, and why the reasoning was with Mahomes, there's no guarantee he's gonna get like as many catches as he did with Smith. Then like every preseason game, it's just Mahomes like airing it out to Tyreek Hill.
Exactly, airing it out. Bombing it downfield, baby.
And then that was the other thing they said. They think Watkins might take. Oh, not Watkins. Who did they sign? Who did the Chiefs just get?
Oh shit. Deshaun Jackson? No.
No.
Fuck, I can't even think who it is. Des Bryant?
No, definitely not.
Colin Kaepernick as a wide receiver.
Here, I'll find it. Oh, they're playing the Packers, so
yeah, they're playing the Packers, so you know it's the last preseason games, you know, going on this weekend, and hopefully next week I'm gonna have a very in-depth, well, as in-depth as I can. I'm gonna give you everybody's records for next week, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we're gonna say
the rookie they took. People are thinking that he was gonna take like possessions and like balls away from Tyreek Hill, but like I even said, even if that does happen, they use Tyreek Hill like the Bears are going to try to use Cole, where they line him up as a running back,
and then slot receiver, or you know, as maybe a second running back out there, so you got splits package out there, you know. But no, it's fantasy football is right here. We're getting ready for football. But you know what else is going on right now?
A whole lot of nothing in the NHL and NBA.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. The MLB is coming to a close, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a team, I think, that both
the
of us...
Sox?
Just because they've won 16 out of the last 26 games and they somehow can beat the Yankees.
And the Red Sox.
And, well, I think they're tied 4-4 the last time I checked. I think they're tied. Hey, it's a foreshadowing for 2 more years. 2 more years, the White Sox will be contenders.
Or this year, and the Indians could completely collapse.
Well, actually, all right, I got to be a little bit of a homer right now, but I actually read an article today that Eloy Jimenez is pissed.
Yeah, because he wants to be called up, which he should be.
He should be. I agree, but the Sox are doing what the Cubs did with Chris Bryant, making sure that they could get an extra year with Eloy Jimenez, which is a stupid-ass rule to begin with.
It's a dumb rule, but you also got to worry, like, kind of how the Cubs, like, placated that a little bit was they also, like, gave Bryant a huge signing extension when they drafted him. Eloy wasn't drafted. He was taken as a player. No, he was taken as a player out of, like, the Dominican, so it wasn't, he didn't get, like, this huge signing was, so he's probably, everyone was saying, like, oh, maybe the Sox can just sign him to an extension that will make him happy. If he's this pissed, I wouldn't guarantee he's gonna want to stay.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right, 100% right.
But that's also
he's
not
already
really
going for a grievance.
Yeah, Bryant did that too.
Okay,
but that's really not like, even if they traded him, that's not like a huge, like, it's bad because Eloy's going to be amazing. But they still have Luis Robert. They still have Avisil.
Yeah, they do.
Until they trade
Avisil. They got Moncada.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Moncada, like, I'm confused on Moncada.
It's his. All right. No, because he has finally only played, I think, 170 games total in the major leagues. That's a little bit over 1 year's worth. No, I am not going to say anything about Moncada until after next year.
I'd say he could be a good player. Like, the one player on the Sox that they even re-signed that I really don't see, like, what the front office obsession. Like, Tim Anderson is, like, a decent player.
I like Tim
But he's not, like...
But he's fast. He gets you riled up, you know. He's a good player. He's a good baseball player. We need him because he's a good role player. That's what it is. You know, if he gets on base, he can steal the bases. He's a good runner. He's good at base running. Yeah. Really good at base running. He just needs to get those hits.
Well, no, that's why. Because I don't like his, like, certain players on their team that were struggling. Like Juan Garcia.
I mean, he's got the potential.
Juan Garcia was, and when Moncada is, like, you could see eventually in their swing that, okay, eventually they're going to get hits. They're just doing bad. A lot of times when Tim Anderson swings, he kind of does the Baez, like, twirl around 3 times strikeout.
Because if this means that Tim Anderson's going to go down the Javier Baez route, in 2 years he'll be a fucking MVP candidate.
I don't think that's happening.
We don't know that.
He's not as good defensively.
Well, no, of course not. No, but offensively he can.
That's was funny. I saw online the video the Cubs did before the game. Can Baez tag out Baez? They had him try to steal on himself.
That's funny.
And, like, he, like, went for the tag, and he's like, so did you get him? He's like, no.
That's good. But no, we have baseball season and all right, no. Well, of course we have baseball season. No, the team that I'm talking about that both Adam and I said, look out for if something happens, the St. Louis Cardinals. They do not die. They're Jason Voorhees. They're Freddy Krueger. They're Michael Myers. They don't fucking die. This is what happens when a team finds their fucking postseason stride in the beginning of August. They are 4.5 games. 4.5 games? Yeah. 4.5 games. Or no, 4.5 games out of the NL Central. I still think the Cubs are going to win the NL Central for sure. But
especially with how Hamels is doing.
Yes. But if the Cardinals win that play-in, get
4.5, Brewers 5.
Yeah. If the Cardinals win, if they get to the wild card game and win that wild card game, look out. I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Cubs or, well, I mean, if it's the Braves, I think they would beat them. But all right. If the Cubs do not get the number 1 seed in the NL, which is a possibility because it's kind of a little scrunched up there. If it's Colorado or Arizona or Atlanta or even Philly somehow gets back up there, I don't think they will. Or even the Dodgers. Those 5 teams, if the Cardinals are hot and they win that wild card game against, say, the Brewers or Colorado or the Dodgers, the Cardinals are going to the NLCS. And the Cubs are going to meet them in there. If the Cubs are the number 1 seed, it's going 5 games, and the Cubs will win.
I think, like, I could see the Cardinals, like, pushing back. But, like, the whole 1-game playoff thing, which is kind of why, like, I would have, like, yeah, Cubs got the division, so it's good. But if it was, like, 1-game playoff, that's what I keep thinking. If it was, like, Cubs-Cardinals 1-game playoff, Cardinals don't have
No, they don't have
the ace to handle that.
No, they don't.
And that's what I'm looking at. Most of these teams are in this situation. Like, the one that does is the Diamondbacks with Corbin and Greinke.
Yeah.
But besides that, Rockies don't have anyone.
No.
Cardinals have Martinez, but he's like, I think he's still hurt.
Dodgers have Kershaw, of course.
Yeah, but last few playoff games with him, he's been getting kind of rocked.
And they did win. They did not win. They went to the World Series.
Yeah.
So, but no, like, I understand because you don't see those big boss aces that it's like, oh, fuck, we got to face this guy.
Well, I mean, the Phillies, I could see that with Arrieta.
Yes.
If they get in.
Yes.
Which
he's been there and he's done that.
If it's Philly versus St. Louis, he's beaten St. Louis and no-hit St. Louis before. So.
But does Philly have the firepower?
If he's only given up a run or no runs, I mean, how much firepower do you need?
That's true. Well, all you need is a 1 run or 2.
But like,
I mean, this is the playoffs. This is baseball playoffs, man.
That's
like,
right.
Cardinals know.
I think, like I said, Cubs are going to win that division. I think these next games against the Brewers, which I'm actually going to one on Monday in Milwaukee,
I
think are huge to, number one, to slam the door on Milwaukee, to take them completely out of the division.
Out of the division race.
Try to crawl to the wild card.
Exactly.
But, like, I think in any series right now, I was a little worried with, like, the whole Chatwood and Darvish because they were struggling. And Darvish, now we realize it was because he's been hurt this whole year. And I feel bad for him because, number one, like, the first year Lester got here, he kind of struggled like that too. Like, the first year of a big contract for players, like, even Hayward, his first year, he was struggling. Like, it kind of gets to players. But if it's been this injury this whole time, feel bad, especially with the, like, bullshit A-Rod was saying that, like, it's horrible that he's in the clubhouse with them when he's rehabbing, when that's what, like, like, that's what Schwarber was doing when he was rehabbing. He was always at the games. He was with them, trying to support them. It's kind of what a good teammate would do, which is why A-Rod didn't understand it. But like, with how the rotation would be right now, it would be Lester, Hendricks, Quintana, Hamels. And with the way Hamels is pitching, it would probably be Lester, Hamels, then Hendricks, Quintana.
Yeah. No, you're right. Lester, Hamels, Hendricks, Quintana.
And then there's talk now that the Cubs might pick up Hamels' option for next year.
But they should.
But even, like, there's, like, if you go a 5th pitcher, could be Montgomery, but I think they're going to move him back to the bullpen. But now, one guy who's actually just made his final rehab start, when they do the call-ups, they might have starting on Drew Smiley.
They might.
They signed him at the beginning of the year, but they signed him for next year, not for
next year.
This year, they didn't think he was going to be
ready,
but they said he just finished his final rehab start, and when the call-ups happen, they're going to have him start a few games and see how he does, and if he does good, they'll put him in the rotation, and Chatwood will go far, far, far away.
Exactly. Go over there. Over there, Chatwood. There.
But in, like, just because I haven't been paying, in the American League, do you think anyone, like, beats the Red Sox?
I do not believe in the Red Sox. I'm sorry. I know they're 92 and 42, something around there. But guess what's happening? Guess who's on his 2nd DL stint? Chris Sale. Chris Sale, as a White Sox fan, I love Chris Sale to death. This guy is a fucking beast. But when it comes to the end of August, September, and you saw last year in October, he he dies. He
That's because he has that like weird ass delivery.
well,
It's not
yeah,
sustainable
he dies out.
to be
He
healthy.
fades out.
Yeah.
And when you have two dominant pitchers fade out in October, I'm talking about David Price also, I am guaranteeing, put this as my hot take, guaranteeing the Red Sox do not make the World Series. Guaranteed. They might not even win the ALDS. They might not win a series. Because if they run into hot pitching, they're done. They're fucking done. Because whoever they're gonna face, you're gonna have to face an Oakland team or a Seattle team or a Houston team. If Seattle fucking takes over Houston and Houston is in the wild card, done. Fucking done. Boston's done.
I can see the A's overtaking them.
Even the Yankees.
Really
the Yankees could beat the Red Sox in a 3-game set. I think in October, not in August. October. Because they're going to have the hitting for sure.
I'm not as sold on like the Yankees.
Like, I'm not either. I'm not saying that. But
like, yeah, their offense is good, but outside of Soriano, the rotation
they got
is
nothing
trash.
else. Yeah, but okay, fine. Say David Price fucking lays an egg on you. Say Chris Sale lays an egg on you. You're now down 0-2, or maybe you're 1-1 at home, and now you got to go to New York, or now you got to go to Houston. Who's going to be your third and fourth pitcher? Who are they? I don't even know.
I think it's Purcell.
Oh, yeah, Purcell. I forgot Ricky P.
Pomeranz.
Pomeranz. All right, fine and great. Fine, Ricky P., right? Say he does well, you go up 2-1, or you're now down 1-2. You bring in Pomeranz, you're probably going to lose that game. Yeah. And now you're going to be tied 2-2 going back for Game 5 in the ALDS, or you just lost in 4 games.
Then they call Dice K.
Get out of here. You know what? This is how I'm ranking. How I rank, and this is another big hot take. Call me crazy. I don't give a fuck. Your number 1 team in the AL is the Houston Astros. So the champs, the defending champs. Your number 2 team in the AL, I hate to say it because I hate them, the Yankees. Your number 3 team in the AL, I'll even take the fucking Mariners over the goddamn Red Sox. And now your number 4 ranked, in my eyes, is the Red Sox. Because come playoff time, those bats go cold and those hands go cold. Especially for your top 2 fucking pitchers. Boston, you better be scared.
I'd put the Indians over.
Oh, I forgot about the Indians. Who forgot about the Indians? I forgot about the Indians. I put the Indians in number 3.
So they're number 2.
Number 2?
I could see a rematch of 2016.
Oh, I can too. So yeah, okay. I forgot all about the Indians because the Indians are just like here
because they've
they got like
they've had the division since like the 3rd month of the season.
Don't mind us. We're just chilling over here. So okay, fine. Number 1 Astros, number 2 Indians, number 3 Yankees, number 4 Mariners, and yes, I have the 92-42 Boston Celtics, Boston Red Sox as last in my rankings. We'll see if that changes in about a month or 2. I might flip-flop. Nah, I won't. Fuck that. But guaranteed, Boston's not going to the World Series. I know that much.
I could... The only reason I really want to see Boston in the World Series is kind of why I want to see the Yankees in the World Series. Because if it is the Cubs, I want to see Theo's old team versus new team.
Well, I want Chris Sale to be in there. How sick would it be? Chris Sale versus Jose Quintana in a World Series. That is like the consolation of all consolation prizes for us White Sox fans. So,
or even the Yankees have Theo take out the Yankees again.
That would be fun too. That would be a lot of fun. But no, we'll get to our predictions when the season is over. But
about baseball that I kind of wanted to talk about that's been kind of bothering me is I forgot the reporter's name. One of the reporters basically saying if Madden doesn't make the World Series this year, he's on a hot seat, and that the Cubs probably won't renew his contract. As I was reading that report, number one, look how long the Sox kept Ozzie Guillen after winning the World Series, and he was kind of insane.
Okay, hold on. How many NLCSs did the Cubs go to in the last 3 years? Oh, 3 in a row, right? Oh, okay. Did they win a World Series in the last 3 years?
Yep.
Oh, they did, right? They did, yeah. How many times have they gone to the playoffs? Oh, 3 times in a row, right?
Yep.
And this is all within Joe Madden's era, right?
Random arriving in Chicago because Freeman left the race, and he's like, "Oh, I can leave.
I can leave. I'm out. All right." So hold on. So if you win the division this year, and even just say some fucked up reason, some fucked up shit happens, and they get swept in the NLDS, you're really gonna put Joe Madden on the hot seat? No.
There's only
he'll be extended.
Number one, I don't believe that at all. I think this reporter just grasping at something just because he wants a story. But the only manager I would even consider changing Madden out for would be like the one I wanted them to hire before they hired Madden, with Joe Girardi. Because I wanted him to. But like the only way Time Madden is gonna be out with the Cubs is when Madden finally says, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
There's no way.
I want to go." But like even like it's just weird, and my friends I've talked to about it said, "Well, this is what happens when you're like the best team. You get random stories made up about you just because." Like they need to write about something.
Oh, we gotta write about something. So hey, Joe Madden doesn't get to the World Series. He's out, right?
But even like they questioned Madden and Theo about that, and Theo basically like on the score when they questioned him, he was like silent.
This morning
he was like silent for like 2-3 minutes. Then he was like, he's like after all we went through to get Joe here, it was like we have no issues with him. We just have a season going on right now. We're not going to extend someone unless it's a player during the year.
When the time comes, and they said that they already talked to Joe Madden about it, and they're on the same page. When the time comes to talk about an extension, the time will come. Right now we're in the regular season, then comes the postseason, and then comes the offseason. Guess what? Offseason, we'll start talking about it.
But so there you go. Even like the first thing I thought of when I read that article for the first time was like when they're saying, "Oh, if he doesn't win, he might be in trouble." I was like, okay, this kind of reads to not saying they're like, I mean, they're similar in what's the word, psychology and like how they run a team, but it would be like if the Bulls after the second championship were like, "You know what, Phil, you did good,
but you're fired. But we're not gonna take. We're not gonna keep you.
But we think we could do better."
That 72-10 season.
That was really good, but we think we could get to 80.
We can get to 80. That's what's going to happen. And the funny thing is, 2 years later, he did dip because Jerry Reinsdorf was a cocksucker.
Well, that was also, Jordan was done, Pippen was done, pretty much.
They were done because Reinsdorf didn't want to keep anybody.
He wanted because he already got...
He got 6 rings.
Championships.
I'm done. Fucking shoot.
Well, but even that... Like, if you go back to that, I could also see his, issue of being, in the 96 season, because obviously I don't think Jordan actually wanted to play baseball. He was suspended.
I think so, too.
If he would have stayed in basketball, they would have won the next 2 titles.
Yeah, they would.
And if they would have, I think Jordan probably would have stayed for the 99 season and then dipped. Because after 9... they would have won 9 in a row. It would be like, okay, no one's doing this.
Kind of like the Celtics, man.
No one's doing this anytime soon.
Exactly. So fuck that. But no. You got anything else on the baseball? On the baseball.
Who do you think wins MVP?
NL?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going with Carpenter. If the Cardinals get to the playoffs, I'm going with Carpenter.
I still think Bias, just because
he's
leading in most offensive metrics. He's probably going to be a Gold Glove second or shortstop, whatever the fuck position he plays because he's a different position every day.
Second baseman for what, 41 times this year.
Yeah.
So the rest is shortstop.
But now that they got Murphy, he went back to short.
Yeah.
Addison's
Daniel
on
Murphy,
IR.
man. Daniel
That
Murphy
was like the
That's
moves
clutch.
that the Cubs made in the trade deadline and post
was
were
really,
amazing.
really good.
Getting Hamels, Chavez,
Yeah.
Kinsler, who has had an up and down few games, but he's still a solid bullpen arm. Then Daniel Murphy, when the deadline was passed,
The waiver wire. That's unreal. That's unreal to fucking get that.
And like, I just love that move because I'm a huge fan of Addison Russell, but I think this move was more insurance for if Chris Bryant can't come back and perform like he normally does, then they could bring Addison off the IR, put Addison at short, Baez at third, Murphy at second, and still have a deadly infield lineup of offense because, like, supposedly Bryant's supposed to join the team in Philadelphia next week and like play with them again, but we'll see how it goes if he's fully healthy, and then they put Bryant into like the lineup that's like last few weeks averaging like 6 runs a game.
Yeah.
Then they're probably gonna blow the doors off the National League. But
exactly.
But I
see.
think right now, I kind of thought this at the beginning of the year that it was going to be another Cubs Indians. But I could see it happening again.
It still might, just the Indians are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. And if their pitchers get hot, they could beat anybody. They're world beaters in the AL. But, we'll definitely get our predictions once the season is finally over. But right now I can say, looking at it, I think Boston will not think. I guarantee Boston will not make the World Series, and I think the Cubs have the inner track to make the World Series in the NL.
I think,
but
of the two leagues, I think that, I mean, obviously that's kind of how it's been for a while. Less batters, less like huge power. I think NL is obviously the easier track. There's really, like besides the Cubs, there's really no dominant teams in the National League.
No, everybody's kind of mushed together.
Even the Dodgers, who were supposed to be one.
Well, because there are a lot of injuries, man.
Yeah, but
a lot of injuries with the Dodgers. I mean, here's the Cubs, and here's just everybody else just swaying in the second tier. Like, who's going to beat the Cubs? Probably nobody. But if I have a dark horse in the NL, it's the Cardinals.
The Cardinals. I still think if, number one, like I said, these games are big for the Cubs, but they're also big for the Brewers.
Yes,
if we could go the other way and the Brewers win those 3 games and they're back
we got
into
a 3-team race for the NL Central,
but then
man. That's what we get.
The big problem with the Brewers, which we talked about last time we were on this show, that I just don't understand is how they didn't go out and get a starting pitcher.
No, they didn't.
Like, literally, Cole Hamels cost the Cubs absolutely nothing. They gave up a low-A player that basically nobody's ever heard of.
And here's Pittsburgh getting who again?
Archer.
And where the fuck are they? Nowhere. They're like 7.5 games out of a wild card.
But they did that more because Archer's locked up 3 years. Next year, they think they're going to be better. Kind of like what the Cubs do with signing Smiley. Like, they did more for like the next year.
Next year is maybe it'll be
what's
going to
happen
or 5. We'll
but
see what happens.
Right now, as I said earlier, I think the rotation the Cubs could go within those 4 is going to, and especially if the lineup has Chris Bryant back, has Hayward hitting. I don't think anyone in the National League has like the firepower to stop what they can put up.
I agree.
Because like the 2 biggest problems in the lineup the past 2 years were Schwarber having like 100 batting average and Hayward not being able to hit.
Exactly.
And now that they both can again,
anything could happen now.
And then if you go into the American League Park and you let Happ or Schwarber be the DH,
right?
I mean, Happ's kind of been struggling the past few weeks. Maybe they'd make Bodie the DH, but like that's kind of
might be on the team. He might be on the playoff team.
Stella probably will be.
Yeah,
they didn't want pinch hitters, but like that's one of the amazing things I liked over the past month with how good Bodie's been doing is back when the Cardinals were like a dominant team. That's what they always did.
Yeah.
They pulled up random ass people
And
that
they were
nobody's
just
ever
fucking
fucking heard
amazing.
of.
Like, what is this shit?
Like
Who
fucking
is this
Skip
guy?
Schumacher and like just randomly like rips the cover of the ball every time.
Exactly.
Like,
It's like,
goes
what
up and
is
you like,
going
and it's not
on?
even like a ranked prospect. It's just some random guy they found, and it's just like, here,
Yeah,
have
some
a bat.
double A guy here having his bat. All right. What the fuck? Where'd that shit go?
But in that's kind of like what Bodie, because like even at the beginning of the year, Bodie
No one
wasn't
knew
even
who Bodie was.
rated on their like top 100 prospects.
Bodie didn't even know who Bodie
He
was.
was just like all of a sudden he's just like, oh, Brian's hurt, so we need you to come up. Okay.
All right, cool. I'm in.
Then it's game-winning grand slams and like tying homers and winning homers.
I'm fucking real, man. The Cubs have become the Cardinals. They have. They've become the Cardinals.
Except with slightly less racist fans.
I guess. Yes. Slightly less. But, all right.
And a better city to live in.
Yes. Agreed. Damn shithole thing.
But
Never mind. I'm not going to say anything about that.
I have one more NFL thing to talk about. The best quarterback in the league finally got paid.
He finally got paid. And you know what the funny thing is? People are saying he was underpaid. Which,
I mean,
in a way he was. In a way he was.
I think
$33 million a year, 4 years, $136 million.
It was underpaid in terms of amount per year, but he has $106 million guaranteed. So,
yes. So I guess I think you could do something with that, you know. But no, he
and the big rumor going around was because that lowered his cap hit. Is that now supposedly Gutekunst is making like a big push with the Raiders to try to get Khalil Mack traded to the Packers.
Oh, shit.
Because the big thing is the Raiders have said the one thing they want before they'll even start talking is 2 first-round draft picks. And with the Saints pick and the Packers pick, the Packers are the only team that in the current draft can offer
2 first-round draft picks.
I was like going through offers with my friend about what they like accept. Like McKenzie's not a stupid person, so he'd want a lot. Gruden kind of is a stupid person, so what he gets
quarterback.
But well, no, they already traded their quarterback. But I think if they offer their 2 firsts, Nick Perry, a second or a third in 2020, and maybe another pick later, or maybe one of their receivers like Allison or Cobb or one of their rookie receivers.
So they could have Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb over in Oakland.
Or
Derek Carr.
Or one of their rookie receivers. I think you'd have to include Nick Perry just because he's a younger pass rusher that they could try to develop over there. I think if they offered something like that, the Raiders would take it.
They might.
Because at the beginning of the offseason, Mac really wanted to be re-signed by the Raiders.
Yes.
But the longer this is going on, the more he's kind of like Eloy on the Sox. The more he's getting pissed off that they're not respecting him,
and play.
that they're not because he's even said like if I had like certainty I was going to be here, I'd be playing right now. But they won't commit, and that's the same thing with Aaron Donald. Like you have 2 of the best defensive players that have played in a long ass time besides JJ Watt.
Yeah,
and they're just like, you know what? Like we think we could do better. We think
we could do better than the number 2 and number 3 pass rushers in the league.
And even if that somehow happens, like I don't expect it to because I think the Raiders will eventually get something done every time. But if the Packers do trade for Khalil Mack and have Mack and Matthews as their 2 outside linebackers, because you'd think that would invigorate Matthews a little bit more.
Yes.
That's going to be like death for quarterbacks
that
in
might be
NFC North.
exactly. Mitchell Trubisky, we're coming for you, buddy.
Mitchell, it's a good thing you can run because
you be running for sure. Mr. Matty Stafford, we're coming for you too, you little bastard.
Yeah, but you could break his arm, he's still gonna play. So it's not like it's gonna stop.
He's like Jason Voorhees. So he's out there. He's got broken limbs everywhere. And Matt Stafford's still throwing for 500 yards. Like, God damn,
he's just gonna do the cane. He's gonna break his arm. He's just gonna sit up and go, like, "What's up?"
I'm Matty Staff, bitch. And then
you got break Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. He's crazy too.
He's a crazy stat stuff.
You like that? You like that? Yeah, we'll see.
After you lose in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. After you lose in the playoffs. So, I got nothing left on the NFL and MLB because next week we're gonna have a lot on the NFL. So let's go to the old watering hole. Let's go to the old watering hole that is the WWE. So it's been 2 weeks. And we have, I guess, a little bit to go through. SummerSlam was lackluster. It didn't feel like it was the second biggest event of the year.
A few of the matches were solid though.
Yes.
I mean, the two matches that were near
the Styles was very good, except the ending.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem they have with the matches. The two matches that were like billed as big matches that ended up being squashes were like unnecessary squashes. Like the Alexa one I got because she's small. It's not expected that any of her strikes or grapples will actually. But the Kevin Owens Strowman one, there's no like need for you to not let Owens have like any offense in the match at all.
Not even one thing. You know,
like the Finn match, I liked that he came out as a demon,
even though it was
unexpected. It was unexpected because everyone was like, well, he's not going to do it because there's been no build up. Why would he be the demon when you don't know? Then it just kind of appears.
All right, cool. Fuck yeah, let's do this. You know, let's keep that going.
And I did like the one thing on Raw this week, even though they teamed him with someone I didn't expect.
Yeah,
I was expecting it to be like Braun, Finn, and then like Big Show or like another face. But then him teaming with Dolph and Drew McIntyre.
You know why? Because
they want to make him the top heel.
Exactly. Vince McMahon is trying his fucking damnedest of making sure that Roman Reigns is going to be cheered at Hell in a Cell and Braun Strowman's going to be booed. It's not going to happen. But I understand, and you know what? I like the idea. I mean, if you are so bullheaded on who you want to be your top face, this is the route you go down.
But isn't Seth Rollins your top face?
No, not to Vince McMahon. What are you talking about? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
In actuality,
Roman Reigns.
Seth Rollins is your top
face. Seth Reigns.
Tyler Black.
Curtis Axel. Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. So yeah, it should be the exact. They should switch roles.
But at first I thought they did, because when Shield attacked Braun when he was cashing in, the crowd was booing.
Well, duh, because
And the way they were posing afterwards made it seem more like the first version of the Shield, where they were heels.
That's why
they were bad guys. And also, like, the thought process is, we always like have his back, but you 3-on-1 attacked someone because you didn't think he could beat him on his own, which is what a heel team would do. Yeah. Which is what Sanity did before they made him little bitches on Smackdown.
Exactly.
And made him lose to Ty Dillinger and R-Truth.
Oh, no. That's so sad.
But
But
like,
no, yeah, you're right.
It's what a heel team would do.
But then this past Monday night, they're like, oh shit, we fucked up. So Braun Strowman's with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
But even then, he wasn't getting booed.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But it's.
I mean, like, if you look at it, it makes sense.
Yes.
For Braun to be the heel.
Yeah, it does.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. You don't cheer monsters, but.
Unless it's Kane, and it's funny to watch him burn people and electrocute people's balls.
Yeah, and Undertaker. But Roman Reigns is supposed to be the face, but nobody likes Roman Reigns. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, okay. I know
mean, he was starting to get, like, and I think this is what Vince's thing is. The last time he had a consistent positive reaction was before their little mini reunion, which was Ambrose getting hurt and ended.
Yeah.
Was when he was in the Shield. When he got his best.
That's why you bring the Shield back together like they did.
But you brought them back together as heels, and you just don't realize it.
Exactly.
You just don't understand that you brought them back as a heel.
And that's why they tried to
And now it's just going to get Roman booed more because people think he's a bad guy.
And now it's going to get Seth Rollins booed. When Dean Ambrose turns on Rollins, Ambrose is going to be cheered. What are you doing?
I don't think anything can get Seth Rollins booed.
That's true. That's true.
Because Seth could just like go on top and do a Phoenix Splash and I'm like, oh.
I'm good. Hell yeah. Dude. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens match this past Monday night was SummerSlam worthy.
Owens did a Stone Cold Star. Owens did a Stone Cold
Star.
And it was funny because on Twitter, like Austin replied to it, like because somebody like retweeted him in the gift of Owens and Austin goes, but ... interesting.
No, Kevin Owens did something else in that match. It's like, what the fuck? How did he do this?
It's because he's like people think.
Oh, he did the Crippler crossface.
Yeah,
he did. In Canada.
Yeah.
Kevin.
But they've been letting people do that because, like, for a while when he was wrestling,
Canada.
Yeah, for a while when he was wrestling, like Triple H was doing it for a little while. When he came back with the short hair, he was doing it. Like, I think, like they're not gonna. And I was like Gargano, his finisher.
Yeah, it's
the same with Bryan. The finisher is technically a crippler crossface.
Yeah, technically
just a different version of it.
It's just the arm is somewhere else.
You know? Yeah, it's Bryan's. He ties up the arm and kind of like drags the knee to the back. Exactly. Gargano's, he does an underhook on the arm and kind of
almost like
Cobra clutches it. Kind of
type.
Like does a Cobra clutch where he makes him like kind of do the arm to the face with his own arm.
Right.
But
no, like that match was fucking phenomenal. And like you said, when they squashed Kevin Owens in SummerSlam, we'll get to Kevin Owens later. I'm sorry, but I'm excited for that.
I understood why Seth won.
Well, yeah.
Seth just got the Intercontinental title back.
Yeah, I know
Seth,
that.
Besides The Miz, Seth is the best person to make the Intercontinental title matter.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And like that's what was one interesting thing, which is completely off topic, was the top 10 list for Pro Wrestling Insider came out, and Miz was number 10.
I love The Miz.
Yeah. No, and I do. Like Miz is,
but he should be higher.
Well, Brock was 3, which makes no sense because it's just a name thing with Brock. But it was 1 was Kenny Omega, 2 was AJ Styles,
yes,
3 was Brock,
no,
4 was Okada.
Okay, he should have been 3.
5 was Seth Rollins.
He should have been
6 was Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
7 was KO.
5 should be KO.
I forgot who 8 was, but 10 was Miz. I think
5 should be.
I think 9 was Sami Zayn.
5 should. Well, Sami Zayn's actually very, very good at it.
He is. He just keep. But his best time was as a heel. Yeah. Was his heel friend because it was by him act like he wanted to act
like a little bastard. But no.
Okay, I mean Omega deserves to be number 1.
Yes.
Omega is fucking amazing, and AJ
should be number 2.
Besides.
That
AJ was 2.
Yeah.
Brock was 3. But
which is ridiculous.
But like when the list came out, I didn't even read it, but I saw Omega's picture and I commented on my friend's post. I was like, "Yeah, Omega deserves it, but AJ is also the best wrestler in the world right now." And he was like, "Read the list." And I was like, "Number 2 was AJ Styles."
All right, got it. Never mind. All right, cool. But okay, so
Here, I'll bring up the full list and see where.
yeah, but man, there's just so much to talk about on Monday Night Raw that it's like I don't even know where to fucking start. What do you think's going on with the KO I quit thing?
I think
What storyline is this
it's
going
one
down?
of 2 things is going to happen.
I already saw a rumor killer on one of those things.
What, the Heyman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already a rumor kill. It's already done. Not happening.
But no, I think here, this is the full list. It's
Okay.
Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Okada, which it deserves to be because Okada is amazing too.
Oh.
Then 4 is Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
5 is Seth. 6 is Braun. 7 is Roman. And for as much as Roman is Roman is good.
Good in the ring. It depends on who he's facing
Then
though.
8 is Cody, which Cody
sense.
should be higher.
Yeah.
Cody should be where Brock
5,
is.
yes.
Then 9 is Nato, which he's amazing in Japan, and 10 is Miz. And for as much like shit as people talk about the Miz is really
He should be top 5.
Yeah.
He should be top 5.
Miz is the best in WWE right now on the mic.
Oh god, yeah.
And like each time he wrestles, he like gets a lot better. Yeah. And like people, we talked about this a little bit a few weeks ago, the Bryan Miz rivalry on screen, but like really they're like each other friends.
Yeah, they're friends.
But even Bryan said in an interview, like when Bryan was retired, asked him about like people who like were claiming that the Miz like sucked at wrestling, and Bryan kind of like laughed it off, and he was like, "You can watch him in the ring and realize how asinine it is to say like he sucks." When he got hired, he had absolutely no idea what wrestling was and what he was supposed to do. And it's like 10 years later, and he puts on amazing matches
ever because he knows how to tell a story in the ring. He knows how to act exactly how you're supposed to in the ring. The Miz is perfect in that.
Yeah,
and that's why he should always be a heel too. He should never be a face.
I don't think he ever has been a face.
I don't think he has.
I think the only time he was
when he first started.
Well, no, when him and Morrison were a tag team.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So what's because I think the Paul Heyman thing on KO is not happening. So what's the other idea?
The other one, well, it kind of went with the Heyman thing, but you don't necessarily need Heyman, but it will help to move this around. It's a way to turn KO face to make him kind of a sympathetic figure.
Yep.
The way Heyman would work into this would be you have like vignettes. Owen's kind of sitting at home, like kind of like, you know, like I've been trying so hard, like I keep failing. What the fuck is wrong? But why does this keep going wrong when I'm like doing the best I can? Then a week later, like Heyman, or if they want to get another manager in, like maybe even who's Ellerin.
Okay.
So comes in, like shows him kind of a highlight package of his own stuff, being like, this is what you could do when you focus. This is what it's supposed to be. This is you at your best.
Right.
Like, what's happening right now is not you. This is what you're supposed to be. Then you see him like on SmackDown the next week if he really did quit Raw, like going up to Paige and like kind of like contrite and being like, you know, like I left SmackDown, but I really want to prove I deserve to be here. I want to prove I deserve to be in the show, prove I could be a champion. Just give me a shot. And then like either he fights like an enhancement talent or like just a lower mid-carder, just like destroys him. Like he's vicious again. And then
he gets back to the fight, but as a face.
Then people start to, like they did something similar with MVP when they made him like lose all those matches and made him sympathetic and eventually like won people over. Then on the last week, I was like, you can even like if you want to do something drastic because it's weird in WWE because it seems like bearded people are always heels, except for Seth.
Roman Reigns. Well,
I mean Roman's not white though, so
Braun Strowman.
He's a heel now.
Well, Well, not really. I mean,
and their version of it, he is like,
they're for AJ Styles.
AJ's kind of like 1 week he has like the beard, 1 week it's like cut off. So it's kind of, but even AJ, like AJ is better when he is heel.
Yes, he is.
Because AJ is like Miz, where it's just like you
Daniel Bryan.
Does Bryan still have the beard, or is it short again?
No, I don't remember.
But like I could see like maybe like the last week, like Owens comes in, haircut, beard shave, new attire, like same like entrance because the music is awesome for him, video's awesome. He comes out and basically either challenges, like if it's Shinsuke for the U.S. title or AJ for the world title, and he's like, you know, I struggled the last few months, but I know I'm a champion. I know I'm the best in this ring. I know I am the best superstar in this company. Be like, Shinsuke or AJ, come out. I'm going to prove I am better than what everybody thinks I am. And then he destroys whoever the champion is, pins him, becomes champion. Yeah. And then, like, starts him off as, like, one of the top faces. But I think the big reason they're not pulling the trigger on making Owens a face, at least on Raw, is because they know. Well, no. That has nothing to do with saying. It's because they know if they make Owens a face on Raw, he's going to shoot to the top as the top face on Raw.
They're going to have to do the same thing what they did to Rusev on SmackDown.
Because even
just shoot him down.
Because even as a heel, Owens gets huge pops, huge reactions. Like, people like love him. So if he was a face, he would right away be the top face on the show.
I get it.
And then it would diminish Roman.
Everything.
Then it would diminish Roman and
Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
I mean, Seth would be fine.
Yeah,
Seth is always fine.
Seth's always fine.
But
no, I get it.
Like, that was one of the suggested things. The other one was I'm trying to think of what
not going to be a good.
What it was. Remember when Edge and Christian were dressed up as the conquistadors?
I remember
I could see Owens doing that one, like putting the mask on, just randomly power bombing someone and leaving.
He does that for like a month and a half.
And just people know it's him, and just like, what the hell are you
doing, man? Like, pop up power bombs. All right, this is what I'm thinking, and I just thought of it, and I'm not gonna like it. It's nothing I'm gonna like, but he's gonna stay on Raw. Because here's the thing, because with whatever push you're going to do with Kevin Owens, you're going to have to put some sort of title on him, right? And if he's going down the road of maybe a face, I mean, yes, I like your idea of Smackdown, and then he recaptures the United States Championship again for the third or fourth time, and then you have him rival with Randy Orton and Shinsuke and Jeff Hardy for the next 3-4 months. Fine, fucking great. But here's a different toll on it, which is going to be terrible because, like you said, it's just going to fuck everything up on Monday Night Raw. So, with the push that he's having is going to go to a title. It's not going to be the Universal. It's not going to be the Intercontinental. You're going to team him up with somebody that has not been on Raw for the last 3 weeks because they didn't know what the fuck to do with him because Matt Hardy is more injured than usual. So they're going to try to team up Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt, and they're going to steamroll through the tag teams and all that shit, and say, oh my God, the Revival beats the B team. Say they do that next week or something.
They probably
like that.
will, because I think they're done with the whole B team thing.
So the Revival will become the tag team champs, and then about a month and a half, 2 months from now, Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt will become your new tag team champs.
I mean, for the sole purpose,
it's gonna suck because you're gonna be killing both of them again. But
I mean, Bray's been killed. So
he's dead. Really. Yeah, he's dead.
But
he's just
for the sole purpose of the fact that I think the two of them together could be an amazing team.
Oh, that was fun as shit.
Because they're
both like the same size.
And they both do shit that they're not supposed to do.
Exactly.
But
it'll be fun.
I think,
but
I think the one way they do it to make it good is before they're even teamed up, have Owens come out like all like bro, I'm just here, like kind of like sad.
Maybe like he bought a ticket.
Like no, have him in the ring, even
Okay.
saying like, oh, all this is going wrong, and then have Bray come out like with the blue lantern still being woken, and just look at
because they said Bray Wyatt. They want to turn Bray Wyatt face, just like fully face.
Just look at Owens and be like you're going through some hard times at this time, child. But don't worry, I can awaken you.
Yeah.
and then have an ultimate deletion match.
Oh my!
With KO versus Bray.
Oh, yes.
Then Owens becomes Woken. And then you could keep going with the Matt Hardy Woken thing. Matt's not going to be on screen anymore.
Not as much, you know.
You can maybe have him be like their manager.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
And then just have
just the Woken Warriors.
Then that's the kind of same thing. Like you could have Owens come out like different attire, like what they should have done with Orton when he was in the Wyatt team.
Exactly.
Or with Bryan, but Bryan came out week and then
Bray Wyatt still has his shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still just weird and
just the t-shirt into the weird like the painter's pants. Yeah. But yeah, like you could have like Owens like come out and just be like, I didn't really mean I wasn't quitting. I was just like going through things. I'm like I'm fine. I'm gonna be okay. I just don't know what's I just don't know what's going on right now. Bray comes out, tells him like I can show you the way. I can show you the way. Exactly. I can awaken you.
I can awaken you, man. Oh my, yeah. I mean, the more I'm talking about it, the more it's probably gonna happen.
But that would be. I mean, it would be a weird thing to do, but like I said, those two on a team could be amazing. It would be a lot of fun because they'd be really good.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be better than what was the team they randomly tried to. Better than like with the B team. The B team is funny, but it's funny. Like a horrible.
It's run its course.
Or better than the Heath Slater and Rhino were.
No, I loved Heath Slater and Rhino. I thought that was great.
Or what was the other one?
What are you doing?
The one with the Big Show, the Jericho and
the Jericho. Yes.
And what was his other one? Show Miz.
Show Miz. Or what about Kane and X-Pac?
Yeah.
You know.
Kane and RVD.
Kane and
Hurricane.
Kane and the Hurricane. Or just Kane and Daniel Bryan. Team Hell No.
I mean, Hell No at least worked a little bit. Because it was at least funny. Like, one thing I'm kind of worried about on Raw was with the whole contract thing. Number one, Braun should have cashed in after him and McIntyre and Ziggler laid the Shield out. He should have cashed in right there.
He's still playing as her face with that shit. See, this is so confusing. He's doing face things, but going with the heels. Yet Roman Reigns doing heel things, but wants to be the top baby face. What is going on Monday Night Raw? What is going on?
But with the briefcase, I think the interesting thing that happened was he gave it to Baron Corbin, but he didn't say he was cashing in. He said, at Hell in a Cell, I want the title match.
Yeah, you better bring this with.
No, Baron didn't say that, but he gave Baron Corbin the briefcase.
But he told him you better bring this with to Hell in a Cell.
I could see Baron as the GM.
No! Yes and no! Yes and no!
Giving himself the briefcase and just being like,
hey!
You didn't cash in.
You didn't cash in.
And even if it's like failed attempts, like the attempt they have in Raw where it just gets stopped. Like where Corbin runs out with the briefcase and it's just like, okay, I'm cashing in.
God.
I mean, if Owens didn't quit, I would even say Corbin could have given it to Owens.
Yeah.
And just been like, oh yeah, there you go.
There you go. Got briefcase. Dude, that's it. Now, oh man. That would be interesting. We got 2 more weeks until Hell in a Cell. How crazy is that?
And there's also like rumors now, like with the whole Matt Hardy thing,
Yeah.
that supposedly he may not be retired. This might have been a way to get out of the Woken thing because the WWE owns the Broken stuff again.
Oh, so
And
maybe
it
he'll
might
just
be
come
him
back as
coming
broken.
back.
He just
as
started, I'm
broken.
broken again. Oh, okay, cool. All right. But I heard rumors also on why Kurt Angle is not GM anymore. Is that
He's gonna wrestle again.
He's gonna be wrestling again. So I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. And I also heard another rumor today that if or when Roman Reigns wins at Hell in a Cell, which is gonna be god fucking awful, his next rivalry would be Drew McIntyre. That'll be fun.
Except Roman's gonna win and he's gonna shit on everything again.
Just shit on everybody.
But I like for the GM thing. Number one, like Bear needs to stop being a GM because he's not good on the mic. He's not.
He's gotten better.
He is, but like
he's gotten a lot better.
I think
this Constable Corbin gimmick has gotten him finally a direction.
Yeah,
and it's a good direction.
I think
it's helping
number
him.
one, if Kurt's not going to be the GM anymore, if he's going to be a wrestler again, I think if they want to keep him on screen,
yeah,
make Paul Heyman the GM of Raw.
I like that idea. I was gonna go with Hulk Hogan, but okay.
I'd go with Eric Bischoff if he was still hired in WWE.
Oh my god! Oh, here we go again. No, Paul Heyman would be really, really good. I like that idea. And see, they could go on so many different routes on Raw, but you know they're just gonna go straight down the line and do nothing.
But I mean, the same thing. Like, I mean, SmackDown has been good the past few years. The same thing kind of happens there, where okay, New Day won. New Day won the tag.
Well, you know why they did?
Because
Eric Rowan is injured, bicep surgery, so he's gone for a few
But the whole
months.
thing is like two teams that were like dominant in NXT. They're making like complete jokes with the Ascension losing a handicap match to Bobby Lashley for no reason, and then Sanity. Number one, they weren't even on the show last week, but then basically it was the main event or some taping after SmackDown. They lost to Ty Dillinger and R-Truth, who aren't even an actual team because R-Truth is just like a crazy person who walks around.
I'm gonna pin you, Carmella.
Who walks around the hallways wanting to wrestle Carmella, which isn't a bad thing. I mean,
no, I understand where you're coming from, R-Truth. You know, your just intentions might be different than ours. That's all. You know, you're looking for gold, and we're looking for more than just gold. But yes.
And it's just I don't get if this was like the plan, they should have just kept standing in NXT.
Yeah.
But they could have continued to like be a big deal there.
Right.
And then if you wanted to debut them on SmackDown or on Raw. Just don't have the stupid vignettes. Just have them show up and just beat the shit out of them.
They're coming soon. 2 months later, they're still coming. We don't know yet, but they're coming. Don't worry.
But the one rumor thing I was hearing about them was to kind of move away from them being like kind of thought of as like the jokes. Was Cena is supposed to come back for the Super Show, that they would run out and attack him. And like lay him out, and just kind of like go back to
doesn't matter. You already killed Sanity, so.
Well, try to build it up a little bit by having them take out Cena, and then
they could try to take out other people.
Like then just randomly just start attacking people.
Jeff Hardy and shit like that. Now another rumor that I heard, a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors going around. Is that that WWE might. And it's not coming anytime soon, but maybe like by next year's WrestleMania or after WrestleMania. But they're kind of thinking about an NXT invasion.
That would be cool. I'd have it led by Ricochet and the Undisputed Era.
That would be fun.
And Mars. Just have them run through. Just have Undisputed Era and Ricochet just standing on the stage and just Mars. They just stand behind Lars, and Lars just charges the ring and kills everyone.
Oh my god. Fucking Lars. He's just a Gene Snitsky. That's all he is.
He's better than Snitsky. He could at least wrestle and talk a little.
Hey, Gene Snitsky is still
Snitsky killed Lita's baby. He wasn't good.
Oh my god. Well, wait. Isn't Luke Gallo? Who was Luke Gallo?
Festus.
Yeah, he was right. Yeah, he was Festus. God damn it. All these fucking Gene Snitskys and Festuses and Lars. They're all the same fucking shit. They ain't gonna do shit. It's Braun Strowman, and that's how it's supposed to fucking be. And they're fucking all this up, and Roman Reigns is gonna win. He's dumb.
I mean, most likely he's gonna win, but like I could see, number one, being it is Hell in a Cell, it's gonna be hard for
Roman Reigns is gonna find some way to win.
But the one big problem I've had with the whole Braun thing is, and it's a problem I've had for like the past year, where they have them like do crazy shit, like tear the stage down, flip trucks over.
So like what Roman Reigns said.
Throw cars at people,
yeah.
And then Roman hits one spear and wins. Gets powerbombed by 8 people in the elimination chamber and still gets up.
Yeah. He gets F5'd once. And all of a sudden, I can't cash it. I can't cash it. Well, actually, he did.
I mean, he threw it up the stage, so it was kind of...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And he did hit him with the chair a bunch of times. So.
But, like, that's the big problem I was having with him is because, number one, like, I didn't like him winning Money in the Bank to begin with.
No, I didn't either. I wanted Kevin Owens or Finn Balor.
And I was really hoping when Finn Balor was facing Roman, because he was really close to actually beating him, and that would have been amazing. But then have Braun cash in Finn.
That would have been
That's
great.
what I thought was going to happen. I was like, great, this is where Finn's going to win, and they're going to have Braun cash in on him and kill him.
So then Finn Balor has 2 title reigns.
That lasts less than a day.
That's less than a day. That would be fucking hilarious.
That would be like, what was Kane's WWE title?
Oh, God, that was
20
days.
Yeah. Like 19 hours?
Yeah, 19 hours. That's it. Done. Fucking dumbasses.
But, like, I'm kind of excited for, like, the NXT stuff now, because they have just signed that Matthew Riddle from UFC. And
nice.
He's like, really amazing. That Keith Lee has been doing really good the past few weeks.
He's fun.
Amazing. Yeah, he's fun.
He's fun to watch.
I saw the so far roster update, and that was, like, a lot of the NXT people, like, it has Heavy Machinery and the Street Profits in it. It has the Undisputed Era, not as DLC, just as
for the WWE 2K19.
Optus people as like just right away as Undisputed Era, and it has Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, I mean, they should have them all.
But like it sometimes gets hard to like kind of WrestleMania is usually like the cutoff of when people are getting scanned into the game, so sometimes you don't know if it's actually going to happen. And supposedly Pete Dunne and Bader in the game too.
What about EC3?
Yeah, he's supposed to
be a DLC.
Yeah, he's supposed to be DLC with Ricochet.
There you go. Well, but I got nothing left. You got anything left for the pup list?
Colin Kaepernick's going to beat Johnny Manziel.
We'll keep you
on that. Watch. This will be the week that Kaepernick gets signed, and you won't realize it until the game starts
somehow.
And he gets like 300 yards and 5 touchdowns.
It's fucking bullshit. Like I better get CFL right here, man.
And you have Manziel, and then they do give you CFL points, but he has like 8 interceptions. And we got like negative 20 points. And like,
damn you, Johnny Manziel!
You should pick up Colt McCoy.
Ooh, man. This is the Pub List. I'm James.
I'm Adam.